Well, I am an ardent follower of Coach Chudi. So I've been around for a while, and when I saw this, predicting the property market future, I saw it as an avenue to actually come around to see what we have to gain in attending today's program, and I look forward to see insights in the predicting the future in the property market and development and also investment.
Many people, especially my clients, are interested in knowing how they can make enough cash flow from their properties. So that's one of the reasons I'm here, and I can't wait to hear him pour it out, so I can get back to my clients on that.
The Property Developers Forum is about helping property developers get development right. A lot of people are coming into the space, a lot of people are interested in doing development, but it's not just about the dream, it's also for you to be able to develop the right competence for you to be able to do big property development business, or for you to expand your property development career. So we want to help people to build their competence, also build capacity to build system for their projects, also in the area of marketing and all of that. So we decided to create that platform today, and we had some of our friends who are doing very well, or probably maybe are already attaining the legendary status, to be part of mentoring people, to be part of coaching them, training them, and to helping people to go to the next level in their real estate investment career.
There are three cardinal things for every property developer. One is marketing, two is investment, three is system. Marketing, one, because you need to make money. Number two is that you need to be able to deliver. And how do you deliver? You deliver through the funds that you are able to raise. The other one is having a situation in your organization that makes your property development company to work without you. Our teacher said most people see what is and never see what can be. Some of us, we are looking at the present reality and we are making adjustments based on the present reality. But we are not making adjustments based on where we are going. And sometimes we cannot even predict. We are not working for the future. What we are simply working for is that we are working for the present. 48 million people in Nigeria want to buy their own house. 48 million people do what? Want to buy their own house. Slide. 8 million people in Nigeria are going to need a house every single year. 8 million every year will have capacity, not, I think that English is too big. 8 million people every year have capacity to be able to pay for a house, not to rent a house. Slide. Just slide. In the last 5 years, every single year, not less than 9.6 billion naira has been paid out in commission on the Lagos property market alone. Not Abuja, not Ibadan, not Owerri, not any other place, not Ogun State, but just in Lagos alone, 9.6 billion every single year has been paid out in the last 5 years. Now, for those of us who are in real estate, that money, that seems a bit huge, right? Right? That seems a bit huge, right? Slide. In the last 5 years, there will be an investment of over 5 billion naira in the Lagos, $5 billion in the Lagos property market alone. In Lagos alone, there will be 5 billion that will come into the system for the Lagos property market alone. The question is, what am I going to do to position myself for that stage? What am I going to do to position myself for the next phase? Now, let me say this to us. In the era of abundance, it is not everybody who enjoys the abundance. Hello? In the era of abundance, it's not everybody that enjoys the abundance. Certain people crash completely and they are off the radar. You will not find them anymore. Do you know why? Because in the era of abundance, the rich want to continue becoming what? Those who are dominating also continue doing what? Dominating. So nobody is going to give you space, all because there's no money in the system. You are the one who will need to take your own space. You are the one who will need to take advantage of the opportunities that as they come. So it is not, see, in the era of abundance does not mean that everybody will have their own. It simply means that people will want to take more than what they currently have. And every one of us, if we do not position ourselves clearly, will be out of radar. And it is not about how good you are in negotiating for land with Omoniless. It is not how good you are in, probably maybe you know people in government house who can help you regularize documents and all of that. It is not, it is beyond that. It is your understanding of the three critical things in as a property developer. One, marketing; two, investment; and the third one is system creation. Every one of these things, you need to be excellent in all of them. 93% of property developers are wrongly positioned. See that image? Some of us, we want abundance, but we are not placed rightly. We are not in the right position. 93% of property developers are wrongly what? Are wrongly positioned. Slide. With the same level of jobs when that problem was created. So what do we need? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to upgrade our thinking. Sorry, I have not gone into the proper details. I'm going to go into it. But I just need to be able to establish the thought. I just need to be able to establish something. If you operate relationship with a small mind, if you operate whatever you are doing with a small mind, you might not go very far. And sometimes you may get to a particular point whereby it's almost as if you are running a circle. It's almost as if you are doing the same thing again and again. Yes, money is coming in, but there is no greatness to the money that is coming in. Opportunities are there, but you cannot move out. You cannot expand beyond where you currently are. Yes, maybe you can do a project, you have a project somewhere, maybe in Veritasi, have another one, maybe somewhere. But you find out that you are just moving in circles, almost like as if it's a rat race. We have sold out this land, we go again, we acquire another land, we sold out again, we do the same thing, we go back again, we sold out again, we do the same thing and all of that. But the question will now be, how then do we truly attract success as a property developer? So let us slide now. The true job of a property developer is creation. I think I said it if some of us have been attending. The true job of a property developer is what? Is envisioning. Not just envisioning, it is also what? To establish yourself as a creator. To establish yourself as an inventor. To establish yourself as a creator. Now a creator is somebody who establishes something that was not in existence. It was not in existence, you created it. It was not there, you established it. It was not there, it was physically, it was not there. Maybe mentally, people had an idea of it. But a developer is somebody who creates something that was not in existence. So there's no title that makes you a property developer. I can give myself the name, the title, but the action or the things that I do or the creative ability inside of me is what makes me what? A property what? Developer. Slide. Growth is built on two things. Competence and what? And system. That statement is wrong. Growth is built on competence and it is sustained by system. Now, the first competence that we must develop is the competence of marketing. So what market competence does for us is that when we are competent in marketing, in marketing, what it does for us is that it helps us, customer acquisition process becomes very tight. We have a customer development process that is also very tight. We have a customer operations process that is also very tight. Then we also have the customer management system that is also very tight. Slide. Now, there are three types of property developers. There's one, the wannabes. There's one, the two, the copycats. And the other third one is what? The dominators. So we have the copycats, we have the wannabes, I want to be like, and we also have what?
Sorry, let's talk now. Let's talk. So we have the what? So we have one, the copycats or the wannabes. We have the wannabes, we have the copycats, also have what? The dominators. The question is, what makes me a dominator? What makes me a dominator is not the fact that I do mega projects. What makes me a dominator is me finding out somewhere where I am very strong. I have more competence in that somebody else does not have, and I'm able to develop myself in that regard. But number one is number one. You can only have a photocopy of the original. So I can dominate in the industry, or you can have many or multiple dominators in certain aspects of real estate development. Slide. Top companies become and remain great because they practice real estate marketing with a dominating mentality. There are about 68 property niches that every one of us can dominate in. That you are not even struggling setting markets. You do what? You go and create your own market. Slide. One thing that we need to stop doing is to stop adjusting, and we need to start doing what? And we need to start dominating. Stop adjusting the things you want to do. Stop adjusting. Stop adjusting to what other people are doing. They do this one. No, stop adjusting. Start doing what? Start dominating a particular aspect of operation. Slide. Ensuring that a scarce customer or buyer does business with you is the central philosophy of a top-performing developer. The customer that you need is not yet in existence. You are the one who will create it. Sometimes, some of us, what we try to do whenever we want to do real estate development is that we try to assess what the client wants. Most clients don't know what they want. So if you do research with a client, you probably fail. If you do market research, you will fail because the client himself does not know what he wants. Now, some of us, we are using iPhone. I'm not sure that anybody came to meet you and they did market research on you, and they asked you a question and they said, okay, you want, and you said you wanted it to be flat. Huh? Huh? Now, it is you who create, as a property developer, you are the one who creates your what? Your customer. Your customer is not yet in existence. You are the one who creates your customer. And guess what? Your customer comes directly to you because it's almost as if you are giving birth to your own customer. Now, what most of us are doing is that we are looking at what Mr. Benga, who is probably a property developer, is doing, and we are adopting this own kind of system. But I can only be a photocopy to what he is doing. I can only be a photocopy to whatever you are doing if I adopt and adjust myself towards you. If you adopt from me what you are doing, that if you ever get any customer, you are only going to borrow them from me. And you borrow them because I am careless. But it's better for me to own the customer than for you what? Than for me to borrow you the customer. So I want to own them. Because whatever, if you borrow them from me, they will still come back to me one day. So what we need to do to dominate is to create our own customer. We're doing real estate for 6 years, between 2010 and all that. Sold 2,000 plots of land in Agbara. In less than 3 months of starting, we raised the first 150 million naira in sales. We are doing well. When we started, the 3 months that we raised the first 150 million, we were squatting in an office. We could not pay rent. How was the rent? How much was the rent? 450,000. We could not pay. We got an office space that everything was just there. When I started, there was no house for me to stay. I was sleeping in the office. I would bait people, maybe, I don't know if they knew, but I would pretend as if they don't know. So 5 a.m., I already seated in the desk, so I'll pretend as if I came early. So people think that, okay, he's always on time. He comes to the office very early. By 5 a.m., I'm seated. I'm the last to leave the office because there's no house to go to. So people think that I'm a workaholic. So I work from probably 5 a.m. in the office, and I leave when everybody has gone home. But during those periods, we're making some good cash, but we're not dominating. It is not how long you've been in the industry. It is what position that you have taken to own in the industry. Because the kind of things I've seen, I've not seen it before. So I told my mentor, no, it's not this one. I'm not good to, I'm balling now. 6 years or 5 years after, I faced the biggest crisis of my life. Face the biggest crisis that you are thinking that you are untouchable. It touched me. Your Bible will say, "Oba me." The worst thing is that when people see that you are up there, there are certain people that you cannot ask for help anymore because they will begin to you ask for help. And that's why you need to get it right. That's why you must get it right. So after six years, you know what I did? I told my people, when we came back in 2018, I told my people, or 2017, I went on Facebook. I announced we are not going to sell land again. I said, we are not going to sell land again. Land we'll cancel it. Bam, close it up. The thing Baba Deika told me is what I will now start doing. 1 year, lost. 2 years, lost. But the third year, boom. Because when we started taking action on some of those things. Create a space. Create a space where you can dominate in. We still sell land. Do you know why I sell land? Did I mention it to you before? Yes. Why do I sell land, Tito? To raise money. We sell land to do what? To do what? To raise money. We sell land to raise money. So land is not the main thing. The main thing is what? It's the development. So we use land sale to raise money for the development. Let me even tell you let me even give you the cost of infrastructure at that time we're quoting. Per square meter. We were quoting 500 naira per square meter for infrastructure. 500 naira per square meter. Where your profitability is secured. It is not the volume of development, it is what? It is what? It is by the success that you're able to attain in one aspect of work, of life. So I need to be able to dominate in certain area. Slide. We cannot win in the game of real estate marketing if you don't know how to play it right. Because it's a game, but you need to know how to play it. It's a game that we need to know how to play. Number one, I will say this, pick a market that matters. Number one is what? Number one is what? Pick a market that matters. Which market do I want to have? There is the hotel. There is the... See, let me share with us now. There's a trend of real estate development currently going on now that I want to just bust our bubble a bit. I'm sorry, forgive me. I asked a question. What is the average income of the Lagosian? Compare it to one night shortlet. Because if all of us developers start building shortlets, you find out that at the end of the day, what will happen is that you will have more shortlets than people can pay for. So you have more supply for shortlets, but you will have less demand for it. You know, when I said that we stopped selling land, there's a property we had in Bejuleki. There's another one that somebody was pitching to us, every other place. People were pitching property to us. But we said we are going to stop. It's juicy because you know what? Sometimes property, that land sale can sometimes be like what? Cocaine. That you take it, you don't want to stop. You are taking it, it's exciting you. You are taking it because people will tell you, I want to be a landlord. Landlord is the way. We quote one again. What do we quote? We quote sack your landlord. We say buy land and what? And wait. That statement, it suits us. Those statements, they do what? They do what? They suit us. They suit us. It suits you. Does not suit the client. Now, you who is an investor, you will buy land. You will now wait. Wait for how long? Wait for how long? Okay, would you rather want, okay, something that is usable today, that, okay, within the next 6 months, is usable and I can start generating income from? So you need to pick a market that matters. What is the market that matters? Cash flow matters to you. Profitability matters to you. It matters to you. And it is not the volume of money that you make. Hello? Hello? It is not the volume of money. It is the cash flow that comes in regularly. Because with cash flow, what can you do? You can expand. With cash flow, you can attract investments. It's better for somebody who you can generate 40,000 naira on a daily basis consistently. You can use that to predict what your future will look like and to use that to expand. So pick a market that matters. Don't do what everybody is. This one is doing, I do this one is doing, and they do this one. Some people will do bonanza. Some people will do this one. Some people will do that, and all of that. All because you want to. It is not sustainable. Customers always move towards what? Towards market. Like I said before, customers will always do what? We are the ones who are the creators of our market, who are the creators of customers. So customers always move towards market. So customers see the market, they move there. So what do I want to do? I want to own a market. I want to own a market. I don't want to borrow your market. I want to own a market. People should come to me because of ownership. This person owns this market. Every other person that comes into that space, they're all photocopies of that market. So what you need to do is to create your own market that is not currently what? In existence. Or probably maybe people are not even emphasizing. Real estate is not about engineering, structure, tall building. This one is not about that. It's about people. It's about people. Slide. Slide. Select a segment to dominate. Select a segment to what? Select what? A segment to do what? Let's communicate. To select a segment to do what? A segment to dominate. It is not about having to dominate all the field. I don't want to be the #1 real estate developer in Nigeria. I don't want to. You select a segment to do what? To do what? To dominate. So what aspect of this development do I want to dominate? In Nigeria, we are doing less than 200,000 houses. Yet we have 8 million people who have capacity to buy a house, and we are still copying. 8 million people have capacity to buy a house. Every year we are producing less than 200,000. Then we are still copying. Select a segment that you should dominate. I want to dominate a particular aspect of real estate. The reason why we need to understand this is because we need to narrow it. The narrower, the bigger. The narrower, the dominant. So you dominate by narrowing. You own. See, you can be in the same rack with the top tiers in the real estate market. Why? Because you have narrowed your market. Number 3, you need to adopt the cash flow formula. You've narrowed your market. Now adopt the cash flow formula, and I think this is necessary for us. Slide. For the cash flow formula is simply this. It's a formula for you to generate cash flow. And it starts with what? Usability, cash flow, cash down, clients, frequency is equal to cash flow. I'm going to state this. This is the formula. This is the formula I try to use, that we also try to use. Because people pay for what they can use. And that is why land is a lazy asset. It's an asset that is there. It's an asset. But it's an asset that pays you what in the future. Right? Right? It is what sits on the land that pays you now. So how usable would this property be? Should this property be that I have? Because that's what formed the basis for which any transaction should even be done in the first place. So it is the foundation. How usable? Usability, it determines viability. Or usability determines productivity. So how usable is this product? How usable is this property? That's one. When you add that with the cash that you have, okay, how much will people be able to pay for this property right now? How much do people have to pay for this property? So cash down. I'm going to share you that if you begin to put value in terms of monetary value or maybe numbers to this, you'll find out that you can raise your capacity for cash flow from maybe whatever you're generating on a daily basis to what? To strong money. Our telecommunication people are the ones who use this math very well more. What do they do? Is that you use your MTM SIM or your Airtel SIM, that is one. Then what do? Is that you pay for it, right? The number of times a client can pay you again and again. And that is where you need to get to. And every one of us who are property developers need to get to. You buy again. Why is it now that you bought the SIM, why are you now buying card again? Why are you now recharging? Huh? It's the fuel. It's the same thing with your car. So you buy a car, you keep on doing what? You keep on fueling again and again and again. Your battery is dead. You keep on doing what? You keep on charging. You buy another one again and again and again. Why do you need to do so? Because you need frequency. In real estate, that is where your real money is. But most of the time, what we do as clients, as property developers, is that we buy a property. What do? And we forget the clients. Cash flow is about what? It's about the consistency. It's about consistency. It's about consistency. Now, I often say this to people. Who is a customer? A customer is somebody who is customized for you. A customer is somebody who is accustomed to paying you again and again. A customer is somebody who is accustomed to buying from you. Somebody who is customized from you. Somebody who is a customary purchaser. Now, how do you convert clients into a customary purchaser? It's by creating development that they will be willing to pay for in terms of the services that you are providing on that platform. So it is not enough to just, okay, I am selling a house and I'm delivering a house to you. It is to create what? It's to create services that people will be willing to pay for. That is what makes Dubai today. Slide. Whenever we want to execute with your what? With your what? Differential. I call it monopoly advantage. Execute with your what? With your monopoly advantage. An advantage that nobody else has. We are executing with what? With your monopoly advantage. An advantage that nobody else has. Slide. So you need to focus on property that will generate you cash flow and profitability. What aspect of this? I want to create this, and I want it to be sustained. It is easy for me to sell this particular property, but I don't want to be a copycat. I don't want to be a wannabe. I want to be able to dominate. So I take one aspect of the field, and I dominate that field. So I am a dominator. I'm not a copycat. I am not doing what you are doing. I am doing what is necessary for me to be able to generate cash flow and profitability. And that is where a lot of us need to start getting it right. Measure what matters. Measure what? Measure what? Measuring what matters. And that is how you measure, that's how you create a system. That is how you do what? That is how you do what? That is how you do what? So we create a system by measuring what matters. So this one is this one, and we'll run it. This one is this one, and we'll run it, and we'll go forward like that. Real estate has gone beyond what we used to know it as. It is now about dominating. It is not about becoming a copycat. It is not about doing what other persons are doing. It's about owning a space that people generally do not own. You cannot be doing property trading. A property developer is somebody who takes a product. What does he do? It turns it around. It creates something that was not in existence out of it and build up a structure that was never in existence. So if I give you the same property the way it was before, what I've done is that I've only traded the property to you. When I sell land, I'm not selling it because that is what I want to sell. I'm selling it because I want to raise investments. Hello? I hope that this section have been able to learn something today. We are going to be learning more as we go on. Thank you very much. God bless you. There's abundance currently in the real estate market. If you look at the statistics, especially in the presentation that I did, there is an inflow that is an expected inflow of about $5.5 billion within the next 5 years in the Lagos property market alone. Currently, the Lagos real estate market is churning out many millionaires on a regular basis. So there is a lot of opportunity within the real estate market, and that is why it's also good for anybody who is coming in to develop proper competence in the real estate market.
Thank you very much. First question. Coach keeps saying everything about niche. So we want to know, what niche do you play in? That's for everyone. We'd like them to answer.
So who wants to give that a go first?
So I think everyone starts from somewhere. Right now, we are looking to play in, residential hospitality, we are looking to get into other niches, which we are still researching. I think that's my answer.
Okay, in other words, copy until you master it. See, most of us enter without knowing where we are going to. So start where you are, start afraid, start anyhow. The first step is getting yourself to start. Now, most times you won't see the end from the beginning. So the niche thing is in the area of your passion. First passion you have to have in life is making money first, because that is how you escape a lot of things. Most of you don't. How many of you here know Deepo? Deepo. You don't know it, but do you know Castle Magazine? Yeah, that's a niche in the real estate market, and most of the people don't look at it. But someone just look at everything, and my passion is writing. I want to put some things together, and he decided to start a magazine, and that's a niche. Niche is fine, but start where you are. So our niche is that we are now selling. We were selling houses before. Now we are developing it, Abi. But guess what? As you grow, the vision becomes clearer. Coach Chudi is our coach. He has been in this team for more than 12 years. So he should have a niche. If he doesn't, we won't be here. You understand? But for us that are upcoming, right, we start, then we create a niche for ourselves. But one thing that will help you is that first, understand that real estate market is a red ocean market. The bars are low. Everybody can go into it. But you need to create something that will distinguish you from the others. Thank you.
So I believe if you have the dream to become a developer tomorrow, I think is what you need to do. Take the quantum leap and start.
Thank you. Well, for me, I did research before I ventured into development. And like Coach said, you need to focus on what brings highest profitability for you. Right now, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom is the highest demand in Lagos if you are doing any development. So I went straight for 2 bedrooms. I don't develop any other thing. I only develop 2 bedrooms. And it's very interesting. Our first development was sold out in 5 months. We just started the second development. We've already sold 4. Because 2 bedroom does too many things for people. Either when you are buying, you want to use it for investment, which is part of the thing that Coach was talking about. Whether you want to use it for shortlet, you want to use it for rental services, or you don't want to live in a big apartment that is cheap, that when you are paying service charge, everything will be easy for you to do. So 2 bedroom is the niche that we focused on. Even my brain works very well around 2 bedroom, but my brain doesn't work well around 3 bedroom, semi-detached. So that's where I focused my niche. And even the resale value for 2 bedroom is very high. So if I come in today, I buy, there's a high tendency that I can make as much as 30% in 6 months. So you can imagine how much I will make in 1 year. And then because of the service, the total package that we put around it, it also helps the value to also go up faster. So for me, that's the niche. If you come to me, 3 bedroom, you won't get me. 2 bedroom, we are party.
I believe real estate is local and information driven. My question is, how do you generate accurate, relevant information that will help you make investment decision as a developer? E.g., you want to know the kind of development that's suitable for a particular location, pricing, and all that.
So the truth is, most of us developers rely on guts, first of all. So you want to carry out the project and you just know that it's going to sell. I mean, in Ekpe, we started something, right? We wanted to build bungalows, but we didn't just want to build bungalows, right? We wanted it to be a kind of, we wanted some form of hospitality, right? So we went to add a pool, we went to put a gym, we went to put, some things that would draw people to that place. And everybody was saying, how would people even come to this place, right? And like Coach Chudi said, you don't always ask your customer what they want. You create it, right? At times, you want to research online. Other times, you want to send foot soldiers, to go find out the exact information that you need. I mean, that does it. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Benga Rahim is my name. So how soon should a wannabe copycat developer or land trader exit land sales, or should one even exit at all? First question. Second, Mr. David. You did say so. Okay, so is the agro space easy to go into, and what are the major challenges or difficulties to avoid or tackle? Thank you, sir.
What is working for me is that I've built machines that even when I'm not actively working, I support them to do their job, and I earn something. And I know you understand what that means. That's all.
Okay, your question about the agro, right? Okay, right now, I think you have to do one before two. You have to say one before two. Now, for example, real estate is my own field. Why I get other people that are good in that field of agro. Right now, we have office in Adamawa State, Yola precisely, and we are doing storage. Understand? So I go there just once in a while to oversee what they are doing and everything. And I'm here, I'm getting report. So you need to take one step before the other.
Once you move into developments, you are still a realtor because you are still selling. So, but one thing I like to tell people is development is about boldness. When you are bold enough to take that step into development, that's when you can move into development. So if you have money, it doesn't mean you can move into development. For example, I didn't start with money. I didn't start development with money. It's fully aware. I didn't start with money. In fact, let me just share a short story. I just moved from a place to another place. My landlord that I just moved from his house was the first person that bought from me. And he bought 2 units. So imagine somebody that was paying rent that I just said, sir, I'm not living in your house again. I'm moving to another place. And less than a month that I left that house, he calls me up and he was like, hey, my wife told me you are now doing development, this one, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we are interested, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy just sent us money. So it's about boldness.
I hope you got some value from the answers. A round of applause for our able panelists one more time. Thank you very much, sir.
Actually, this is great, and as it was discussed inside, a lot of great people gather in this place, the leaders in the industry, the major players in the industry in Lagos and in Abuja. I came from Abuja, for example, so you can see that we are sharing knowledge. So that shows that instead of division, we are coming together, to use our knowledge together to learn from one another and to make the real estate industry more profitable for all of us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. Part of what was read about us, about the number of development and everything, I think that recitation, it is outdated. For now, with buildings plot of land and everything, we've done over 3,500 units throughout Nigeria. In fact, presently, we just closed a deal last week about, we do hectares in Abuja, not like acres. In central, like a major place, we just acquired about 106 hectares. That is about 330 something acres. So that can create about 2,000 plus housing units. So we've been growing in bounds, in leaps, and we give glory to God. It is very easy to move from nothing to something, to move from zero to millions, to move from millions to billions, if you have the tenacity, the capacity, and you are ready to move. I always look at Coach Chudi. I look at the energy at which he does what he does. If you follow him very well online, you're supposed to say, as busy as he is, maybe you don't know. I used to say, you used to monitor me every day. Every day. There is a way, we have a platform. If we sit down, there is this, no matter who you are as a developer, no matter how much you have in your bank account, even if you have 5 billion sitting down, your money, you are not owing anybody 1 naira. If you don't work every day, the day you stop working every day is the day your money starts going down. You cannot be lazy being in real estate. Despite the achievement and everything, I see what you do every day. I monitor you every day. You monitor me every day. And I see you, you see me. I know you see me. We monitor ourselves every day. And we've been doing this for years. In fact, my wife is there. It's a policy. I don't eat at night until I finish posting. And at least I post about 100 pictures every night for my customers home and abroad to see. Consistency. There is a time that it is beyond money. It is no more money because the money is there. Now, where it is about posterity, it is about what you have built. These athletes, some of them, I was watching one woman at age 95. She was still jogging every morning. If you have not been jogging when you are young, you can't try it. Maybe you will try the first one and fall sick and die. But because you built that capacity, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, and you keep getting better. So we are talking about real estate developers and real estate development. Who is a real estate developer? There are many definitions. A real estate developer, I will give us 2 definitions. A real estate developer is anyone or company that makes money by building, acquiring land or property, building or renovating those houses. You are building a new houses on a land, or you are renovating it. You are a developer. Another one, a person whose jobs involves buying, improving, and selling buildings and land, and arranging for new buildings to be built on the land is a developer. Another definition is a developer is someone that acquires land or do joint venture with owner of land to build houses on the land and sell for a profit. If you fall into any of these categories, you are a developer. And let me calm down. If you are someone that sells land, you sell land, plot of land, and you develop it, you put fence, and people are building on the land. The people that bought land from you are building houses on the land. You are a developer. It doesn't matter what category. One of the panelists said something very profound here. He said boldness. And we had to hit capacity. Capacity. Once you have capacity to build, you can move. Once you have boldness, when I mean boldness without money can be scary, especially if you don't know what to do. But if you are bold and you know what to do and you don't have money, you can move. If you are bold and you know what to do and you don't have money, but you have good name and you have people around you, you can move. I told you we have properties. In fact, then, I was into loan service for a period. So when the government changed and most of our clients then, the government didn't pay them the money they are owing them. We finance people that do government contract majorly. So we lost a lot of money. Then we lost 93 million there. So we have properties of ours, personal properties. We were building, but we're not building to sell. We have property in excess of 1 billion naira. But nobody was ready to buy quickly so that we can offset the 93 million. Don't sell what you feel is good. Sell what people need. Don't create a product that you think is right. Create a product that people are ready to buy, willing to pay for, and can get value for. One of the panelists also said something. When people buy product from you and the product is useless to them, like they cannot sell it, it is not appreciating. In fact, maybe they bought land for 5 million after 5 years. No development in the area. They have to sell like 3 million. It is not good for them. It is good for you. Any property that you cannot resell, don't buy. Any property that you cannot resell, don't buy. From that 5 million, sir, am I permitted to mention figures? A little. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No, these are people that can scare people here. All right, so from that 5 million, we turned it over. At least I'm still very young, right? I'm less than 40, right? We turn it over. Today, the company net worth, okay, to be very conservative, it is in excess of 15 billion. And we are not owing anybody 1 naira, either dead or alive. A bank, financial institution, or friend. We've never borrowed since we started real estate business. We generate our cash flow and we build it up. We are not owing anybody, and we are the 2 directors. We don't have any other person that is a director. So call it a family business, so be it. So, what I'm saying in essence is, what I want to discuss now, briefly, there are things that we have done. We collected the 5 million naira from a friend. Then we had property, but we couldn't sell. He gave me the 5 million. In fact, before I got the 5 million, the guy I begged him, I did everything. See, don't care. It doesn't matter how you got your seed. It matters what the seed will become for you. If you like, kneel down and beg them now. They will come back and prostrate for you because level has changed. There are some of us here. You came from a very humble background. You are the one in your family that God will use to lift your siblings and your other ones. Take that step. You are in Lagos. God brought you here, or you grew up here for a purpose. I didn't grow up in Abuja. I went to Abuja as a core member. I suffered in Abuja. I was sleeping on 2 square meters. I don't know if you know 2 square meters. You know these ties. Okay. There's no point to just that you cannot see the front very well. This table here, the person that was cutting me measured it for me. I brought a very big bag. I was a big boy from Ilorin. I made my first 1 million between the time we finished from school and the time they posted me for NYSC. We were trading shares. I've never been lazy. I'm the firstborn in the house. I have younger ones, so I can't be lazy. I have responsibility. I made my first 1 million. But when I just entered into the camp, for orientation camp, a friend of mine told me, I've saved like 1 million plus. The guy said I should transfer the money to him. He helped me buy shares within 3 weeks. And by the time I come out, I'll use my profit to rent house. I will not use my money. I transferred the money on trust. I came out, I was calling the guy, he was not picking my call. I had to take permission from the person I was, the place where I was supposed to serve, that please, I need 2 days. I need to travel. I traveled down to Ilorin to go and collect my money. The guy was running. Eventually, he showed up, he said, I'm sorry, the money is gone. I used it to trade Forex and the money disappeared online. God, big boy started life on another level. I started learning how to manage 20,000 for 30 days. I started learning. I was very lean. I was looking like my old self in Abuja. I suffered for 1 year. Guess what? The person that was cutting me was living in one room. One room. That one room, he measured 2 square meters for me. The big bag I brought, I sold the bag. I bought a smaller one. I gave her some of my clothes so that the bag would stay. I would be able to. I was like this for 1 year in Abuja. Do you know the funniest thing? The same place where I was cutting, around that area, we have 4 estates there now. And those estates are well built. I know some of you have seen my post online on Facebook or any platform, Crown Vista City, Crown Golden City, Crown Auckland, Crown Luxury Estate. People are living inside the estates. Now, one of them is Vista is about 200 plus houses. Golden is about 125 units. Auckland is small, 27 units. Crown Luxury is about 37 units. Where we were escorting. So some of you here, where they are mocking you now, you will buy that place. It will happen. It will happen. It's a matter of time. So I'm giving you all this background so that you know that you are not the only one going through what you are going through. There is hope for you. We need to strike some code on how to move from nothing to billions. It is very possible. We'll take them quickly. We'll take the first one. The first one is let me just outline before we take. I'm discussing with us today about a billionaire's codes. Moving from 0 to billions. Pillar of system. You need to build system around it. That's number 1. Number 2 is the pillar of leverage. Nobody gets there alone. You need people, you need leverage, you need system. Number 3, using mentors to fast-track success. I will share all this, how it has worked for me as a person, as for us as a business. Then the 4th one is the pillar of integrity. The 5th one is the pillar of money. And the 6th one is location and certification of the property you want to build. Let us start out. The first one is the pillar of system. System is the principle of order to eliminate confusion in your business. If you are moving into real estate development, you are moving from being a realtor to a real estate developer. Don't carry the mentality of a realtor into development. You will fizzle out in 3 months. A realtor does not need to have an accountant. You introduce somebody to somebody, they sell the land, you collect your commission. If you like, finish the commission in the nightclub one night. The following day, you go on Facebook again, somebody will definitely call you. You sell again, you finish it. People see you as a big boy. You are living large. You are looking fresh. In fact, sometimes you say, for the next 3 days, I'm not working. Nobody will catch you. Nobody will disturb you. As a developer, sir, can you... If you are on holiday in London as a developer, I assure you are working 16 hours as you are there on your phone. You are giving instruction. And if you're supposed to say no, and you write yes, 10 million is gone. If you understand. In the construction industry, perfection of corruption. If they perfect a system for you as a developer, they make you believe that this DPC must consume 250 bags of cement. And you believe it. You approve the first one. The second time, maybe they took 150 instead of 250. The second time they want to do the same project, they will refer to the first one. That, sir, remember that one you did for plot 106A? It was 250 bags of cement. You will just say, okay. That okay means 100 bags of cement has gone again. Now multiply 100 bags of cement for 2,000 houses. You know how much? So they can make you and make your profit out. You just say at the end of the year, your overhead is much more than expected. You get turnover of 10 billion, what went out is 9 billion. Instead of you to have spent 6 billion, boys are building houses somewhere, and they know how to perfect it. One day they will make it so big, they will resign and leave. So you have to be very, very careful with site work. Site work as a developer, that is where money is going down. It's not about the noise and everything. What happens in the system? So we'll start with system. The pillar of system, what you need to put in place to checkmate wastage as a developer, as you are going into it, and as you are into it, in case you've not been putting all this. The first one is the marketing and sales system. You know what? All complex organizations are built on system. All complex organizations, they are built on system. Confusion should be rendered impossible in your organization. People should enter and know what to do. Your staff should know what they are doing. Nobody should be all in all. Somebody must be responsible for something. If not, many people will not be working. And you can be so amazed that it's not about, if you enter into an office, let us assume this is an office, and somebody comes in and see everybody and say, oh, wow, what a big organization. Oh, many people. If each person does not know what to do part-time, we will not be getting so much results. Like if we are just 7, and each person is in charge of something, Like yesterday when I came in here, I was discussing with him. I said, what are you people still doing here? By this time, you've not closed. She said, we are just starting. We are still working overnight. I said, what? I came down deliberately again. I saw your guys. I couldn't hide it. I said, you guys' dedication is here. System. You've put them through something timed without number. They know what to do part-time. That is why you are getting the results. And it's a place to clap for you. Thank you. So now, marketing and sales system. If you don't want to market, if you want to come into real estate because you want to be the chairman, like Mr. Coach Chudi said, you want to sit down, you don't want to do anything, you want to be the big man, you want to enjoy the G-Wagon alone, there is a problem. Everybody is a marketer in real estate. You see us shouting every day. It is not easy to be posting every day. You know, sometimes you are in the middle of a very important meeting. For me, once it is 8 p.m. at night, whatever I am doing, I will shut it down. I have to go and attend to my clients online. We post, can you imagine that every blessed day, we take picture of our work as it is going on site. We take pictures from morning. Once it is 4 p.m., the media team will start working on the pictures. You put the name of the estate, put the website, put the phone number, put everything. Then, once it is 8 o'clock, we start rolling it on all the platforms. We've been doing it consistently for the last 3 years, and it has worked for us. Our clients in US, in UK, we have clients in Dubai and everywhere. They check the development in the estates every day. They keep referring us to their friends because they know that every day we work. Every day we work. It's a lot of money, because the bill every day too. It can be so amazing. So you have to be disciplined and market your product. Apart from, I know Lagos, we have a very nice system in Lagos. We have realtors that sell for you and everything. But apart from that, you need to have your in-house system. What if tomorrow, most of my friends, you see these people that came out, these panelists, I know them one-on-one. Some of them have been to our site in Abuja. What if tomorrow, no realtorship is not possible? Will your business die? So you need to have an internal marketing system to work with the external one. You work with realtors, then you use your own that you have. Because the day you stop selling is the day the business stops. So you need to have a marketing system. Create a marketing department. Number 2, accounting system. How money comes in. When you start out and you sell 2 plots, you sell 3 apartments, 5 apartments, 6 apartments, you can keep record yourself. It will get to a time, we call it surge, a surge period. And I pray every one of you will build system to that level. That money is coming everywhere. Money is coming everywhere. You don't even know who sent what. You just receive alert. I know Coach Chudi and this my friend said will bear you witness. Sometimes in a day, maybe you receive like 30 different alerts. You receive 15 million from this, you receive 40 million from this, 60 million from this, 25 million from this. Do you have a system to control it? If you don't have a system, somebody will just show up one day and tell you that he was the one that deposited 40 million. You start printing account statements. You start checkmating. Even if you check, somebody inside can tell the person, a name to mention that has sent money, that has not come to collect allocation. You start issuing allocation to people that never paid for your property if you don't have system. A time a surge will come that you are selling 50 houses in one day, 150 houses in a week. What system do you have to check me that if anybody comes to say anything, wait, give me your details. Just enter on the system in your office. It comes out, okay, good. If it is questionable, you can arrest him immediately. When they know you that you are a system, they won't bring it to you. So you need to have accounting system. You need an accountant, a chartered one at that. You need engineering system. A lot of things are happening in Nigeria lately. Demolition of houses and all those stuffs. You know, we have contractors that build for us, but it comes to, we as a company, we don't give out our construction to outsiders from the onset. We build. We have engineers, we have civil engineers, we have architects on salary, we have everything needed to run a real estate firm. So we have engineers in charge of each of our projects. Presently, we have 26 estates now. So we have in Lagos, we have in Osun State, we have in Ibadan, we have in Abuja, we have in Ogun State, we have projects in Ghana, we have presence in Kigali too. So you need system to manage all these things so that you don't collapse and you don't have to be traveling every day. It is not easy to be traveling every day. So that you don't have to be traveling every day. You need engineering system. Have your in-house people too. Even for now, if you are using contractor, have your in-house people that can checkmate what the contractors are doing. Because at the end of the day, they will not mention their name. They will mention your company's name. You need engineers in-house. All these systems matters if you want to build business in multi-billions level. Then you need a Realtorship system. Thank God for Lagos. You guys are doing well. Your Realtors are fantastic and they are very huge. They have the numbers and they are very efficient. So have a system in-house. There was a time we worked with some Realtors group in Lagos, but we didn't have system to support it. So it didn't work out well. So we learned from that and we started putting system to manage that. So you have to be very deliberate. You create a unit that will manage the external Realtors so that as they are coming, they have people to talk to, all the questions will be answered and the rest. If you get that right, you will grow very fast. Another thing that we need to do is the administrative system. Your workers, their welfare matter. How you move from one thing, how file move from one place to another matters. You cannot do business at the level of billions and not have a very good administrative system. It will be very frustrating. Some people will not come to work and they will write in register that they are in the office. You need a very good system, administrative system. You need everything to be structured. When somebody is supposed to go on leave, if you are entitled to go on leave, if you're entitled to get leave bonus, if you're entitled to all those things, you need to have a system around it. Then, corporate communication system. We live in information age. Don't allow people to misrepresent you. And don't keep quiet when you're supposed to talk corporately. Sometimes, social media age, people can just, in fact, sometimes your competitor can just sit down and scheme how to spoil your name. They will just sit down and scheme how to spoil your product. If they push it out and it starts trending, you need to have a corporate communication unit that will come out and say something to the press. This is what we stand for. Immediately you talk and you say it, you kill all those negative stuff. Because people say, oh, no, they have issued an official statement. You need that as time goes on in business. Then procurement system, very key. Very key. You need if you are into land sales, that is a different ball game. It's at a level. If you are going into construction, you are building houses. As we are sitting down here, my wife is there pressing phone. I know what she's doing. Procurement. You place order for things. You need to have a system where whatever you place order for, as the material comes in, somebody take record. They sign, you sign. This is what you take out. This is what you supplied. This is the accounting department supposed to know what was supplied, to know what check to give to the supplier. If that is not checkmate, all your profit will go down the drain. That is the loopholes. You need to put trusted and capable people in charge of that. Many companies have gone down because of this. Nowadays, it is not easy to do real estate without knowing somebody in government again. It is not possible again for you to get building approvals without having good relationship with government. In fact, let me break it down. Let me use Abuja as a case study. If you have, like this land we just acquired, you cannot have land that size, 106 hectares, and they will ask questions. Even the minister of FCT will wonder, who is behind this? Only you in this town. So you must have people that can talk to on your behalf. That, okay, he has track record, he has developed this, he has capacity to handle it. If you don't know somebody, somebody can just call you and sit down on your file and say, until you give me 50 million, we will not sign. And you start begging as a novice. Meanwhile, what's supposed to have built? You're supposed to have built relationship with time. That you just put a call through to somebody. Please, my file is at so-so office. I want it to move to this office. Can you help me put a call through? They will just send SMS to the guy. Check for this file, move it to this place, instruction. He will move it. And you will deliver your product to your customers with ease, without hassle. But meanwhile, to maintain those kind of relationships, maybe Christmas time, you just buy something, hamper, you just give them card. Maybe you just give them like $1 million. Thank you for this. That 1 million will save you 100 million in the next 2 months that you will do approval. Build relationship deliberately. So it's not something you do just in a while. Have somebody assigned to represent you. As a CEO of companies here, you don't have capacity to go everywhere. So you need people around you. Assign somebody that can handle that for you. They don't need to be so many, but they have to be the key people. Success is not a solo project. It needs to be shared. And success is not a competition. There is plenty of it to go around. So we need leverage. The Bible says sorry to go that, for Muslim brothers here. Says 1, we conquer 1,000. 2, we put 10,000 to flight. 1 plus 1 equals 2 if you are working alone. If you are leveraging on other people's effort, 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. 11 plus 11 is equal to 1,101. If you want to go fast and move fast, leverage on other people's results. People that have been in the industry, leverage on them, on their activities, on their results. And that will take me to the next one. I was actually going somewhere else to go and buy the first land that we used to start out. Somebody said I should meet a friend of his who is doing well in this area. I met with the guy. The guy said, that place, that land will not develop in the next 2 years. And I listened to him. He took me to another place, more expensive, but more strategic. That was a breakthrough for us. Till today, in that area, we have 4 developed areas that people are living in. Till today, I still visited the land I wanted to buy. There was nothing happening on it. Till today, I was still there last week. And I always thank God for meeting somebody that told me, don't go there, come here. I would have been frustrated and think real estate is not for me. Mentor is very important. Then leverage on mentors. How do you know a good mentor? They will be willing to guide you. And you'll be free to ask questions. You are not scared. Then your result is nothing compared to what they have. They're already where you want to be. So a mentor will guide you. So move with people that are already where you want to be. It's a great opportunity. It will shorten your stress. It will give you speed and accelerate your results. Very soon, you will see yourself among your peers now. They will be asking you, how are you doing it? It is not because you know how to do it, but because you leverage on the power and what your mentors have done. You don't need more than 1 or 2. Just look for people that are where you want to be and approach them. If they don't have time for you and they have books, buy their books and read. Chat them up, tell them you read back. They will be interested to chat with you. So mentor is very important. The other one is the pillar of integrity. Integrity is like a magnet that attracts prosperity. Till today, Crown Luxury Properties, our company, use about 90%. Our sales is about, if we make sales, let's say about 700 million in a month, 90% of it come from our existing clients. 10% come from marketers or realtors or marketing. Consistently. I've made sales this morning before coming. I've received a lot this morning. Referral. Your integrity is key. No matter how much people give to you, even if they give you 1 billion naira, that go and start real estate, and you don't have integrity, you will promise people land, and you don't even have land there. You are selling empty lies. It's a matter of time. Maybe people start telling themselves, don't go there, don't go there. And before you know it, nobody will be interested. So integrity is very key. If you want to go faster, do it well. Build a name that people can say, this name, I can trust it. It might not make sense at the early stage, but I'm telling you, a time will come, you will not be struggling again. Your result will be speaking for you. So integrity is very key. Then another key is the pillar of money. Money flows towards value. Money flows towards value. Let me say this. I've been doing a private chat or talk about it with Coach Chudi. Let us use Nigeria as a case study. Presently, how many of us want to buy stocks on Nigeria Stock Exchange? Few. How many of us like to put our money in fixed deposits? Because it is no more attractive, right? 1%, 5% per annum. Who want to do that? How many of us, do you know that presently, people are selling their properties, their values in the oil and gas? I have a friend, he's a multi-billionaire. He sold his stake in Port Harcourt, oil servicing company. He sold his equipment and everything, brought out close about 7 billion, and he started doing real estate development. We are putting him through. Do it this way now. So money is leaving because of the regulation. Oil is no more profitable. Banking is no more profitable. Stock exchange is no more profitable. The only thing, then inflation rate is going so high. The only thing that everybody is putting money into now is property. That is an advantage for us. This is the best time to take advantage of this industry. Okay, another one before I go is the issue of money. I give myself 2 minutes, sir. The issue of money. You need to know how to manage money. As a real estate developer, you will get there. A time is coming when you are looking for how to sell. A time is coming when you sell and you have money. You have money, like you have money in your bank account. So it's a different ball game to manage business. It's a different ball game to manage the money that is on ground, proceed from business. Gone are the days that you just have the money and you keep it in your savings account, your account officers. Some of us that are sitting down here, our account officers are getting promotion because of our money. So one just begged me, there was a transaction we were supposed to do. They were begging me that I should please let the money stay till the end of November because the CEO of that institution said that is, I don't know, they will promote him as a unit head because of our money in that institution. Some of us, we are the one making our account officers. So don't let your account officer just sit down. Some of us, we just keep our money there. It is just there. I still get 15% per annum on my own money in the bank now. We keep it till the time we will use it. I know some people say, how are you doing it? If you have it, you dictate what you want. You tell them, this is what I want on this money. If not, I move it. The regional manager will come to your office the following Monday. Please, we agree. They will bring the document to your office. A time will come when you operate at that level. But before you get to that level, make sure you keep your integrity intact. Make sure you know how to manage money. Make sure you know how to retain money. Now, in conclusion, we did it. You too can do it. The same effort it takes to turn 5 million to 100 million. It's the same effort it takes to turn 100 million to 10 billion. Build system. Do it with integrity. And be dedicated to your work. Thank you.
Sir, your question, please. Yeah.
How are you solving this problem? It's huge, like you know.
Yeah.
So how is solving the housing deficit, mostly for the common man?
Okay, housing deficits in Nigeria presently, as said by the Minister of Works and Housing, he said it's that the 22 million projected is not backed up with data, but Nigerian population is already over 200 million, and the number of houses we are building is less than 200,000 every year. And the demand for housing in Nigeria, people that are capable of paying, is about 8 million. That have capacity to pay for house in Nigeria.
The property market is large, and we can't know it all. So I'm here to learn from industry experts and also just collaborate and just make sure that we do the proper thing with the property market.
So much, sir. God bless you. So my question is, you mentioned we should learn how to manage money. So I don't know how to manage money. You mentioned one thing we could do with money. So can you just highlight one or two other things? How do you manage the billions in your account while you're not doing development?
That's a very direct question. It is, how do you manage your money? How do you manage the billions? Tell us.
Okay, how to manage money? Everybody, my own area of expertise is finance. So that's my key. That's my stronghold. My wife managed the procurement. That's our own stronghold. She knows how to spot stolen items. So me, I can just walk by, but my wife can know this is not up to 100 bags of cement. I'll say, how do you know now? Leave these boys. Say, please don't enter into the car yet. Let us count. Count it, and we'll get 95. We'll carry 5 bags from here, and it will come out. So wastage is reduced. But my own area of strength is what we are asking. How to manage money. Give yourself salary. Yeah? As you are starting out, little by little. It is the fact that there is money does not mean that it is meant to be spent. Money must be spent on companies' projects, not on, sometimes the money will just grow up. You just feel like, okay, now let us buy 7 official cars. Car will just be flying around. You'll be buying fuel, maintenance. Drivers will be conniving with mechanic to be collecting money, salary every 2 weeks. Manage money. Spend money when it is necessary. And the fact that there is money does not mean that it is time to buy liabilities. Don't pride yourself on liabilities. So some people pride themselves on how many, liabilities. I don't want to go specific. Make sure what you have and why you are waiting for the next project. Because another thing, Coach Chudi said something. The fact that you have money does not mean that you should go and start development. When you have money, maybe you are selling. We have several estates, for example. Money is coming from here, from here, from here. Does not mean that we should go and buy another land and start building immediately. So sometimes you keep money. You bear with me. Just keep money, waiting for the next opportunity to buy land for the next project. But we, as a matter of structure, once we sell a project to 50%, it is sold out. So we start preparing another one because it takes stages. Projects, preparation, it will get to a time, it will catch fire. It will be selling like this, everybody will be buying. It will get to a time you have sold out. As a developer that has integrity, you stop. You tell people it is not available. You don't start selling what you cannot deliver. So you keep your money, then that is the time you now use your power on that billions, like you said. You dictate to the financial institution where you keep your money, what you want on it, so that money is not sitting down. You tell the bank, this is what I want on my money. Forget about what the general information is not for everybody. Some people dictate to the bank what they want on their money. And if they cannot give it, they discuss with another bank.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Amos said that there's a kind of money you will have in your bank account. You can actually call your account officer and the manager, and then you would dictate the terms. So I'm sure some of you are going to pick up your phone right now and call the manager. The manager will not say, okay, you never reach this level now. All right, so let's get ready for our third speaker for today. Mr. Adetola Nola.
To be very honest, when we started Veritasi Homes, it was, I remember we were trying to sell some plot of land for some shell people. And then we went to Ibejileke like 72 times, but they didn't buy, okay? And then the particular land that we sold first, every single person told me that this land would not sell. It was far away, but like after I can find this place, you can't sell. Nobody can even drive up to this way. But my brothers talked about boldness. So I think because of the, and doggedness, we went on with it. We then sold that land. We sold almost, if I'm correct, like 300 plots, And then that was when I realized that when we made that money, it was the cheapest kind of fund ever. The cheapest kind of fund you can ever get is your customer fund. I've tried to raise money everywhere. I've tried it in capital markets. I've tried it with bank loans. I've tried it with HNIs. HNIs, the problem with them is because they have some of the best financial advisors, okay? And then they have some of the best lawyers, and they believe that it's a risk with you. They always ask for the highest interest, right? But customers' fund, look at that. Someone gave me money in 2017 for a land, 650,000 naira, right? I bought 20 polos, maybe 13 million if I'm right. And then someone came back in I'm not saying give refund to your client, but I'm saying that person came back in 2021 to collect that same money back. Some people even remove money from it. That's craziness. You pay 20%. I do too, 25. Listen, that's the cheapest kind of fund. If anybody gives you 13 million in 2017, HNIs, banks, capital market, if you're having to pay back in 2020, you know how much you're going to be paying. I'm supposed to be in my next slide now. I'm already, sorry. Mr. Pofo, you have to give me a lot of time. I have a lot of things to say. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I said the cheapest form of capital is usually the customer's funds. Anyway, in real estate, any kind of project is the cheapest. I know. I said, what are the checklist? I said, sell and build. First of all, sell and build. That's what I do. Camberwell Advantage 4, we've sold quite a number, maybe 20 units. We've not even started the piling. A lot of time I check my brother projects on Instagram. When it was, I think he had just built maybe 1 or 2 blocks there. I'm sure he would have sold like 1,000 units. Because everywhere I go, I just see Fairfield and Mansfield. Everywhere. Yeah, so what do you then need to, checklist to get that fund? Company's goodwill, company branding, top management team branding. What I mean by that is, when we were doing offline, I remember when we did our Abijo Campbell Phase 1, then I think I had some money, but the mistake I did then was I didn't use that money to buy land. When we bought the land in Abijo, we bought it for like 300 and something million, and then we're about to go to the site, and some money came and hey, this, that. When my brother said he's never had problem with land, maybe because I don't fast before. I don't fast before I go to buy the land. For me, I've had so much bottlenecks, but for some reason, I've managed to always sort them. I think it's because you don't play a lot in Lagos. Lagos is crazy. So, we had to ratify the land with another like 100 million naira, so like 430. And then the amount left with me was not even up to 100 million. And then we have a project conceptualized for like almost $1 billion. Then I'm like, how do I start? How do I start? And usually when I'm confused like that to start, I have mentors. I go to some of my people to say, oh, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? And then I remember I was trying to raise funds, all these lenders, banks, and all. But we didn't have enough cash flow for them to loan to, despite the fact that we have assets. I will still talk about that. If you're trying to get funds from banks, So, and then I remember I told my team then, I think it was 2018 or 19, I told my team that, even if you have 50 million naira, we'll go to that site, we'll start building. As soon as we start building, people will come. It was like, we went to sites, we started doing foundation, and people started giving us few money, And then people, it was that time I just won Forbes. So Forbes really helped. People say, oh, you're the Forbes guy, right? I'll give you money. Like, I cannot take their money away because, So they gave us money, and it was cheap funds, despite the fact that inflation happened on it, and then we have to restructure, but at least it was the cheapest. Well, so we found out that it was because our company had goodwill. The branding was not top-notch, but it was decent enough to attract those kind of money. Mind you, the branding that we had and the goodwill that we had as a company to attract off-plan sales in Abijo, if we had the same thing, we probably wouldn't have sold in Ikoyi. I don't understand what, So we had to just upgrade with time, know the kind of market that we want to play, and then know where we're going and do that rebranding, keep pushing, keep announcing big projects, keep saying different things to be able to attract off-sales plan in that luxury market. Do you understand? Go to the next one, please. Okay, I said demerits, inflation, and inconsistent default. Yeah, so we then sold to MTN people, and then they gave us some amount of money. I think some little percentage, saying that we should get the rest from NHF, right? We sold to a lot of other people as well. But while building, inflation happened, and then how did you handle it when the inflation happened to you? It was crazy, wasn't it? But what did we do? And then, as a finance person that I am, I just told them, listen, this project is going to be slow. Took the money, and then, went to a bank, or an investment house, and I started getting returns every month. Like he said, if you have a lot of money, you can negotiate good things. So normal investment house will give you probably 1 or 2% per month, but because we're giving bulk money to them, we could negotiate. And I just didn't give bulk money to anybody because I won't give bulk money to you. I was part of their management team. I nominated someone to be part of their management team that reports to me, and I appointed myself on their board. So all the things that you want to do with our money, with our I want to be seeing it, I want to be seeing it. So I was getting reports, It was the biggest thing I could do to keep the money safe. Right? And then we're getting the money per month, and then we're taking to the site to build. We're still doing the construction, but a lot of people got in their location, and they're going to start living there, I think, January. You can be loyal to banks, but banks are really not loyal to you. You know that when you default in their loans, they start writing with a lot of lawyers and all. So, but I want you to know how to use debt. If you don't know how to use debt, don't go into it. But if you know how to use debt, it can make you scale faster. It makes you take on bigger projects, and then makes you look, of course, really big. For example, if you do that particular land, we have a sitting asset of another 40 or 50 billion, and then you can take that to any market, capital markets. You can do a lot of wonderful things. About the loans, if you really need more information, you can call me later because Mr. Fofo is really looking to me. Go to the next slide, please. Yeah, I said one of the demerits of... I should have got that, thank you. So one of the demerits of taking bank loans, it's, the floating interest. Has it ever happened to you that you took a loan at 16% or 17%, and then one day the bank calls you to say, oh, we're coming to your office, and you're like, oh, what's happening? And then they say, oh, check your offer letter. It's floating. Now it's 21%. And I'm like, yeah, didn't we sign an agreement? But in the agreement, it's there that they can actually increase the rate at no recourse to you. When I ask for money from them, it's like a backward integration, because I have money with you, So if I have like 2 billion naira with you and I'm asking for 4 or asking for 3, and I'm collateralizing with not even the asset that I'm about to buy, but the asset that I already have on ground, which is not encumbered by another loan. I think that shows that you're in a strong point with them or with anybody, and they usually always do it. So the floating interest is a lot of disadvantage when, and then you have to read your agreement very well. I want you to take note of some of these things that I've said. The floating interest, the repayment schedule, your CFO has to be brilliant. You have to know how to refinance. And I want you to know that you can negotiate anything. I've been sometimes given money for 5 years before, and I feel like, because I don't want to pay down, but I want to negotiate it to 3 years or 2 years so that my interest can be low, And I can go back to the bank and say, okay, I know what's happening in the market right now. The cost of money is now very low, so I don't want to pay 18 again. I want to pay 16. And for the fact that I have this amount of billion with you, do you understand? So a lot of things can happen. You can negotiate. There are people, there are bankers, there are people. You can sit them down, negotiate with them, refinance your loan, negotiate your interest, do your repayment schedule, and everything will be fine. Next slide, please. Yeah, capital market. So, does anyone know that you can actually raise money in the capital market for real estate projects here? You can raise money for capital. I didn't even know before, to be very honest. So usually I go to the bank sometimes, apart from the fact that, one of the advantages of having money to start your project from the start is you would not sell cheap so that you can quickly raise funds. When you have that money, so in Ikate, I told when we increased the price from 55 to 60, my accountant came to my office that, some people are still selling for 55. They're going to take the market share in that space from. I'm like, yeah, but we have money to build. We have money to build. In fact, next week, I want you to increase to 65. Let's prepare for inflation. It's not just that we're increasing for increasing sake, but because that we know that we have money to do. But there's a cost of that money. And the cost of that money should be factored into the project itself. Do you understand? So I think when you go to a project, approaching it with customers' money, and knowing that if customer stops paying, the project stops, is when you then sell a property that is supposed to worth 70 million for 40 million naira. So when you have money to build, for example, we're trying to do a project on Gerard, and then we're trying to use Kappa and Diabalso, which sometimes is the mobilization fee is like 1.5B, and then of course, it has to be sold at premium because, look at it, there's a cost to that fund. We're not waiting for customers to give us money before So money can be raised from capital market. A lot of people go to capital market. A lot of organizations go to capital market to raise money. The only thing is that there is a process to it. So capital markets are institutional investors. When they say institutional investors, that pool of funds from institutional investors. When they say institutional investors in Nigeria, I think they only just mean pension funds, right? Which is like right now 15 trillion naira. And guess what? They are looking for projects to put it in, right? So what we usually do is you go to the capital market to raise a program. They call it a program. So you can raise a program of, I know this can be very abstract, but I want you to try to understand it, please. And then because you really need it. In fact, it's one of the cheapest way to get money. Last year in the capital market, people got funds for 7%, 7-8%. And right now, even when the bank loans are 2019, people are getting funds at 13% in the capital market. And that's where we're trying to get the particular fund. A lot of asset management capital company can actually help you. But I can just explain the process to you. So you go to the market, okay? But first of all, you have to get rated. I don't know if anyone knows what they call investment grade rating here. So most companies that people invest in are supposed to have an investment grade rating. There's AAA, there's AA, there's BBB, and all. I think in Nigeria, Zenith Bank and some other few banks are like the AAA. Even Providence Bank, there was one time I was in a negotiation with them, and I was saying, even me, investment grade rating for Veritasi is BBB, and you people are BBB. What are you saying? If I'm giving you money to warehouse, you should be giving me money to warehouse. We're on the same level. Do you understand? So you go to the capital market rated first of all, which is very good. It doesn't have to be you don't need to be trying to raise funds before you get rated as a company. I think it gives you a very wonderful PR. Right now, we are undergoing another rating. We've undergone a rating by Data Pro, and then we undergoing another rating by Augusto. So I think Augusto, Data Pro, and then what's the third SEC license? okay, I put it a global credit rating. Those ones are in South Africa. Those are the people that rate you in Nigeria. That is SEC license. So you rate your company that they either give you AAA, AA, or triple B as an investment grade rating, and then you raise the project that you really want to invest that money that you're trying to raise in the capital market for. So you rate your company, and then you rate the project. When you get that rating, of course, you get some solid business plans, pitch deck, investment memorandums, your cash flow projections, which I think that every CEO should know how to prepare, your cash flow. I do it myself on my account in my office, project our own cash flow. This is the amount of us, the last one that we wanted to do for the hotel, this is the amount of rooms that the hotel will have. This is the amount of sales that we will do in the first 3 months. This is amount, this is how it grows, this is the expenditure. This is, you do it for the next 3-4 years. And then you say, you can do it. It's not even hard. All of these things are not really hard. And then you give it to, what are those investment bankers, and they take it to the capital market. Most of the time, you get the funds, but it has to be secured as well. So sometimes it's secured by BG from, your background, or your, what's the other one? SBLs, your standard letter of credit. Letter of credit, yeah. So you secure it with that. So you can get as low as 13%. We're trying to do one right now in the capital market, and we're going to get the funds at 13%. We're trying to do a 19 billion naira program, such that one will pull funds to execute projects. We go back. It's like a pool of funds. We go back to be able to execute projects as well. So you either raise funds in the capital market by bonds or CP. CP is commercial papers. 270, 180 days, not a lot of days. That's why it's commercial paper. So usually just traders, oil traders, and all of these people are the ones that use CP. Quickly raise commercial paper, give us money. We trade commodity traders. They send their product, they get money and do. But bonds are long term, for projects like real estate. And so you either get bonds or commercial paper. But trust me, I want you to go back and sit down and see how you can raise money from capital market. Being a realtor is, someone was asking, a lot of people were having question, when is the right time to transform from being a realtor to a developer? To be honest, I do not think it's a cost to be a realtor, because one of my brothers in the UK, Mr. Simon knows him, his name is Yemi Edo. I think year 2017, he closed. This is not even because I was in his office when he was showing me, of 500 million pounds, got 3% from client, got 3% from the bank, So he made 6% of 500 million pounds in a year. Being a realtor, it's not even a developer, And then I've been privy to the fact that finance country is richer than a lot of development company in Nigeria. I also know the fact that a lot of people that, like Mr. Dapolaya is richer than a lot of developer, and it's just based in Port Harcourt, and, And I also know the fact that these people, finance country, have gone to the capital market to raise money for the development projects. But when you say, of course, sometimes maybe hospitality or commercial projects, do you understand? What's this man? Purple. What's his name? Yeah. I think I was in one of his lectures in Whipaker when he said that he raised money from the capital market to do more. So you can actually, it doesn't have to be, from realtor that you're doing well, then you start being a developer, then you grow. No, you can actually structure your business very well, create good system, like my brothers rightly said, create good channel, create good system, make a lot of money, let people believe in you. Another way to raise funds is, know the amount of money that you want to use for your project to execute that project. You then divide it. You can approach HNIs for big money, and then you can also approach the crowd. The only problem is the cost of managing the crowd. There's some logistics that could be really difficult, and that's why I really don't like crowd. Some of my friends have crowdfunding platforms that they raise huge money, but trust me, sometimes they go through a lot of crazy stuff. So crowdfunding is another way to raise money for your real estate project. You can raise money from HNIs. You can do private money lenders. There are a lot of private money lenders in Lagos. Sometimes when you're trying to raise funds in the capital market, for example, when we're trying to raise funds in the capital market, we approach Templars as our legal partner, and then we approached Coronation as our banker, and then we went with them. But there's always a cost of this, trying to use people like Templars, Coronation, all of these people. And then I think it's not bad to quickly take short-term debt from, private money lenders, such that, it's just a cost of raising funds. Take short-term debt, raise your funds, and then you return the funds when the funds are already in. Those are the things that I use short-term lenders for, because they give you probably like 100 million, 200 million, which is enough, not enough for the actual project itself, but it's enough to get the cost of putting the money for the project together, And then, of course, mortgage. Mortgage is rubbish in Nigeria, It's definitely rubbish. Before I used to rate it, but I don't rate it again, so I really don't advise people. If you want to do NHF, they want to give you 50. They want to give us 50 million naira per person now. We put it in for like 3 years ago. I have spent more than 1 million naira per person trying to get the money out. Unreceipted money. See? I'll come to your office in Abuja to see if you can help me out. So mortgage, rubbish. And if you want to do private mortgage, sometimes double-digit interest, you find out that you're paying more than ×2 of the property at the end of the whole thing. So I really don't advise people. I'd rather tell them that, do a long payment plan than, use a mortgage person. So I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
We, going into building now, we need to still hear part of the success story they have, what they have encountered, the challenge they have faced over the years in the industry, and how we can all come together and solve that problem. Because the common goal is to provide housing for all Nigerians.
I mean, from the sound of your round of applause, it's indicative that you have been value overloaded. Am I right about that?
My name is Identity King. What I do is we help real estate. Actually, I'm transitioning my business from helping all businesses to focusing on the real estate segment.
Good.
So
now,
we help real estate segment, real estate businesses position their business. So my question is to further our own work here. Good. So when it comes to branding for a real estate company, what are the key things that has to be put in place? The things that must be in place if you are positioning for the kind of opportunities that you want to attract to your business?
All right.
To be honest, that's a branding question anyway, but I'll answer. So what I think that I've done a bit right is we've tried to appear, okay, for example, I told you we were selling lands before, when we were selling lands. To be honest, I really didn't used to believe in anything branding. A lot of people come to my office and say, oh, you need to put yourself out there, you need to go on this, you need to go on that. In fact, when I was nominated for Forbes, I was caught like 4 times. I just kept receiving calls from South Africa. I thought they were scammers. After a while, I feel that I then realized that there's some amount of money that you would attract with just proper branding, okay? And then, because I read a lot of biographies of rich people all around the world, I feel like when they make money first, then one of the first things they do is they try to, first of all, belong to a bank or own a bank, and second, they try to own a newspaper. Like Washington, you find out that Jeff Bezos owns Washington Post, Donald Trump is part of Michael Bloomberg owns Bloomberg. All of those. And I'm like, what are the people trying to say? So meaning that, first of all, finance and media is like key. You can actually sell anything with good monetary backup and, great media branding. Do you understand? So, but to be honest, that different kind of branding. I remember when Lekki Gardens was playing in Orchard Road, all of those places. It was using Lekki Gardens. It was doing a lot of buy 2, buy 3, get 1 free. And then when it got to Ikoyi, you realize, where he has placed himself, even the billboards, even the people that he signed, even the way he now treats, even the contractor that he then uses now, all of the things surrounding him has changed, And I think that those are the key things that you need to do going forward.
My name is Tito Phillips. I just wanted to ask, you talked about sell and build, not build and sell. So I want to ask, that's my first question, how do we go about that? Then the second question is personal. I like that you're very comfortable calling big figures. Did you learn that, or it's always been part of you?
Actually, that's a very funny question. Am I really comfortable calling these figures? Okay, so let me answer your first question. I think I said that because I was trying to explain how to raise money from customers' funds, which is the cheapest kind of money, right? And then, the normal slogan in real estate is build and sell, So I am saying that, people have sold 100 units without even dropping a pin on site, and they did that because of the past projects they've done, one, and then the past success, thank you, and then the history of, what they have managed to garner over time, And then I say, an example of we in Camberwell for selling almost 20 units without not even starting piling yet. And that's because of what people have seen in 1 and 2, and then they're still believing in our brand. So that's why I said, it's cheaper to sell and build than to build and sell, unless you have money. Then secondly, you said about the personal figure, the big figures. To be honest, I'm a finance person. I raise funds, not for just real estate people alone, not for even my business alone. I will tell you this. Last year, myself and my 2 of my friends, we raised 53 billion naira in total for companies, different companies in Nigeria. So those figures are not what I learned to pronounce. They are something that, I do every day. I like big figures. I like money. You say, I like cash flow. I like it when 10 million, 12 million, all of this money. And then when they coagulate to form big numbers. So, I'm just very comfortable calling it. And for the fact, normally, I call in dollars. But because I'm talking and it's Nigeria and it's, I decided to come a bit, so that we can then do naira. I didn't know that I was even calling a lot of billions. So that's it.
So the property market today is how do I say it? Is more competitive. I used to call the way I think about this thing. I see it's like a restaurant. And when people come to your restaurant, the most important thing is for them to taste the food and for the food to be good so that they can come back. But the kitchen is messy. Today you are washing plates, tomorrow you are the one frying. If you can't do it well, get out. But the most important thing is that, and some of us, we are just constantly in the kitchen. I stand by the door. I taste every food. Serve it out before it goes out, and all that, and do all the tasting. But, people see, they come to the restaurant, they see how fine the restaurant is, they sit down, everything and all that. But the kitchen is hot. As much as a lot of people want to, they want to become a developer, it's a very interesting game, but it will squeeze out the best in you every time. If you cannot give your best, you will fall out in a very small time. And this is what is happening in the market right now. There's more competition than ever before, and it's getting really, really crazier. But what I'm here to say is, how can you survive competition and all that? But also, the opportunity is huge. The opportunity is huge, is extremely very huge. As much as we have a lot of sellers, we also have a lot of buyers. There are different things, and the barrier entry is low. There's no barrier entry. You can be a surgeon and cross into real estate and become a developer. There's no low barrier.
You don't need any certificate for that. There's no license. All you need is you just have to be crazy enough to face everything. So, but all that, but I would talk about 3 areas that is very, very sensitive, that I feel that is part of the areas that drive competition. First is price. Second is quality. And the third one is service. I tell people that when you are competing on price, you are weak. When you are anytime you are competing on price, you are weak. Can you take it? I should go on. In business, I can have this same water, remove the label and call it J. And I will sell this same water. I can say this water is, how much is this water now? Maybe 100 naira. I can say this water is 2,500. Now, how do you make this water that is everybody can buy for 100 naira, 2,500? How do you make it 2,500? And how do you make it 2,500 and you still have more demand than those that are selling for 100 naira? That's where the work is. And that is what a lot of people are afraid of. People think that everybody go for the lowest price. See, brand work is a mirage. Is a make-believe. Honestly, when you fly economy and business class, the difference is not really much. Oh. Honestly, it is what they... You're just sitting and they can make your bed for you. You can stretch. For a 6 hours flight, I mean, here to London, you can stretch. And then they'll give you champagne and anything. They'll give you juice. And then they created a particular lounge for you. You know, you can go there and everything is fact. The margin of... And they want to make you believe that you are better than the rest. This is for general, but you are better. Here is for selected people. You are better than the rest. Everybody wants to feel like that. The same way you want to wear designers and say that there's only 10 of it in the world. There's only limited edition. Everybody wants that. So in the game of price, I mean, what you can win with brand, maybe you win with numbers. Product is here. Product is on these two. Here, this is what backs whatever work that you've done here. This can destroy it. And we need to pay attention. You look at your business, the entire part of your business, from start to finish, from the way you attend to people at the reception. You cannot hire somebody at the receptionist or somebody that she has a problem smiling. Or she has a problem, she does not even have empathy. So somebody can be in your office to see you, and they are waiting for 30 minutes. That is wrong. I mean, now, survival tactics, first is establish a USP and a value proposition. Know your strength. This is very important. You don't have strength in everything. See, our market is so huge that there's no champion of all. You can't say, you are champion. You are not champion of everything. You can only be champion in your own cubicle. You are champion of your own product. Just do your product and do it well, sell your thing and go. And every time you need to look at your product and say, now you need to treat your products like the way the tech guys treat their products. You know, tech guys, every time you update your apps, you update apps on your phone. You update apps and then there's new version of phones and all that, new version of phones and all. If you treat your product like that, you will gain a lot of insights. User experience. Now, the reason why they are making all those updates is user experience. People are living in this house. What is the feedback? You learn from it, you improve on it. That one again, you take the feedback, is user experience. And see, we built a 3-bedroom terrace that was the best seller in the market and all that. It was the best. We sold, in fact, I didn't even believe that. We sold a lot. We sold, like, we can just keep on doing that. And then we're going to do another one. And we said, okay, let's look at this product. And then we gathered feedback from everybody that is, we were able to gather feedback. And then we came up with another product. More expensive. I mean, your new product should be more. It's not, cement is not the same, iron is not the same. Inflation. If you are not looking at inflation the way you look at Forex, hello, the price, hello, price, you will just be selling. At the end of the day, you look at your money, you just go that you've worked for the masses. You work for the public. The iron change everything. In fact, you know what? I even your online presence, the market is very good now, better. You know those days of flyers, people who use Biro to write their phone number. I saw one guy on Allen Avenue, he was sharing flyer and he was selling about 25 million property. And he was saying, the person that will buy 25 million property, you will not see them walk on the street of Allen. Ogawa, Beko. Go on YouTube, go and watch what you can do, and it's not by share. I'm not even sure people share flyers again. If you're just sharing flyers, I mean, that doesn't exist again. And you have to know how to speak here. If you are not ready to be accountable, don't go here. If one person will just put one comment. I live in your estate. You are posting this. You have to be strong. I mean, the online place make you very accountable. If you are not strong and you are not doing this, it's not the place to be. And this is where, here, content is the king. Here is where people will see you as whatever they want to see. You can call yourself something, but this is where they will judge you. Feel like I said that you are the number one real estate company in Nigeria. This is where they will judge you. You are number one. And you are designing flyer like Celestial. Sorry. Research, market knowledge, identify your niche, strategy, strong team. This is very important. Hire yourself. Make sure that every time you want to hire, you are part of the process. Compete with yourself is very, very important. Compete with yourself. Compete with yourself. Because if you're competing with yourself, that's a better way to tell yourself that I need to be better. 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 And that is very, very key. I wish I had more time. Also, data. Data is very important. To lead in this market, you must make, if you flog data enough, data will speak. Yeah. Before you do anything, gather data. Yes. Here we don't pay too much attention to data. We just believe that. See, let me tell you something. Everybody that comes to our office, you feel there's this tab that you use. Papa, pro, po, 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 po. You think that, okay, you're just telling us that you are here. It's more than that. I won't tell you. You are new in the market. Either your color is, I don't want to mention any color, so I don't mention anybody's. If you like, let your color be brown, chocolate, I will know. And then they say, okay, this, somebody will just bring FBI. Okay, this is what this person is doing. This is what this person is doing. Okay, what do you think? How much do you think the person is trying to play with? You just know all that things. Okay. All right, this one is not part of threats now. Let's put it aside. It is business. Me and this guy, we can laugh here. Everybody, we can laugh, shake each other. If you come to my territory, I will fight you heads on. We will laugh over him and say, how are you, sir? You're good, sir. You look good, sir. Our good strategy, I say, come. What's that guy doing? I wish I did. See, I'm not saying that people, see, we have a very, very, we have this belief in Landwey. You can also have the belief. You have this belief that if you're in the same location with us, we're not saying you should not sell. but we want to sell out before you sell out. From the people we use as ambassadors. Because some people can be ambassadors, they are the market. In fact, use some people as ambassadors. The moment you use some people as ambassadors, they already place you. The bank can take. Everybody has taste. In case it's a good thing, it's a good thing. It will be a breakthrough for that person. but collaboration is very important. It gives you a picture. It places you. And you must be strategic about it. Who do you want to collaborate with on this and on that and on that? Sometimes collaboration can improve your price value. You know that every year, every company has a target. You want to do 50 billion. That was our own target for this year. And, we made the target for last year, and everybody was like, thank God, thank God. And then you came and introduced another and added something on top again. But your target is what is driving you. Your target, the market you will meet your target. There's a market you meet your target. It's not every market. Because when you have your target, you want to design some products that can help you achieve the target. And you have to know the market where you want to achieve that target. Now, when you know the market, when you achieve your target, you can smile. That's my belief anyway. When you achieve your target, this is your target too. If when you achieve your target, you can give other people clients. Say, how are you? Are you okay? I will send 5 clients your way. But when your target is what is chasing you, your target is what is chasing you. And every time you have to analyze it every month. So it's a lot of work. You not really achieve balance. And that's the honest truth. Maybe you achieve balance when you have a lot of structure and you are well fed. You are because our business is you can also build a passive income around your business and say, okay, as much as you're chasing the 50 billion, you're chasing the 60 billion, you're chasing all that. You also want to build a passive income of at least you want the business to be able to generate without even doing anything, maybe about 12 billion a year, without doing anything. So when you build that and you have a lot of structure around your business and you've achieved some level of, there is the, if I'm correct, there is the startup, there is the growth, there is the scale, and there is the stability. When you are still going from, in fact, startup to scale, you are firing. All cylinders, you are burning on all cylinders. I'm telling you, you are burning on all cylinders. When you get to stability, you know that you are on a guarantee level. There are some businesses like that now. They are on guarantee level. Nothing can shake them. Nothing can shake them. Even if they are shaking, you just hear of what you'll be hearing is big. They are not. I cannot mention some brands, but you just know that they are on the stability level. And when you achieve that, yes, you can achieve balance.
Yes. One more question. Okay, do you have the mic?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is, coming from my background, I think I've been in construction industry for about 7 years. Being a civil engineer, I know that quality is a big issue in real estate. We have so many things, so many estates we have to pull out from because of quality issues. But thank God you clarified it, and I know that we'll take quality more important as we go on. But coming into property development now, you mentioned something, collaboration. And thank God you mentioned in passing now that when you are done with your target, you can send 5 clients some other people's way. During collaboration, is there a way we can reduce competition by business partnership? Not necessarily meaning that I have to partner with your company, but when you have what I need and I have what you need, it is still a win-win situation. Can 2 people collaborate to get maximum results?
You know what?
Yes.
We are in a system that is governed by greed. Human greed. We are governed by greed. So collaboration is very, very, you have to be sensitive about it. Especially when you are doing business with other people. I'm telling you, it has to be more than just collaboration. It has to be heaven ordained. I've seen a lot of, collaborations. For instance, I don't do JV. Because I believe that people who want to do JV, they are greedy. I don't do JV. And I have my reason for that. But for somebody who wants to, JV might be good to do, but I don't do JV. And there's a reason for that. So depends on what works for you. But when it comes to collaboration, you have to be extremely, very, very careful. I've not seen it last, most especially in this part of it. That's why you will not see a lot of African businesses that is owned by two people. It's very scarce.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Mr. Ayilara. That's it. That's it.
So I deliberately use this because you want to pick your market. It seems confusing and there's a whole lot coming up. You just want to pick someone to pack everything, and it's just interesting. But we just go on this journey together very quickly. The next slide, please. Okay, so when we look at the market itself, I define what is the market. What is a market? This is just an avenue where goods and services are being exchanged. And it takes place involving the buyer, the seller, and other system that connects everyone together. That is the market in any industry. But here we are focusing on the markets in the real estate industry. And I know that we are all players in the industry in Nigeria. A majority of us play in Lagos. Let's go to the next point. Now, for every economy, there are 4 things that are critical that you will see in every economy around the world. The first is production and firm. That is organizations. It can be formal, it can be informal, but there's a system of services and product that is being generated. The second is households, people that need those services or the products. The second is the government, regulations, and the final one is the market. Now, these first 3, the production, the household, and the government, they interact through the market. The firm, the real estate developers, they have products, they bring it out. The household, people that want to buy, that want to invest, they come. And the government that want to watch you, pay your tax, pay your money, do this, go about it the right way. They are all involved, interacting through the space of the market. And that's why the market is very, very important and essential. And getting direction, it's more important than speed. Many people just want to run and just keep running. So in picking your markets, you need to always have all of this in consideration. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, yeah. I will just, looking at the industry, real estate industry itself, I've just quickly run through this pyramid, which we all know, and tell you about my own experience of some characteristics of this pyramid. We all know about this, the bottom market all the way. And I'll start from the top. This is a premium market. This is where we have the 1% of the 1%. And the interesting thing right now is that a lot is changing in our world. The premium market is changing from necessary location to what the product can do. Just like Mr. Olawale spoke right now. You can have a market in a location that is not the prime location right now and create a system for it, and it will attract everywhere there. You can go to one village, one town, create one massive stuff, have an helipad, and people will fly in there with their chopper, and they have a farming system with a lovely environment just to come and relax. And they pay a lot of money to be a part of that community. All right. So it is changing from what it used to be in terms of, this is a hybrid location, to what it offers. So in connecting your markets and choosing your market, your product offering is very important, but I won't dwell on that. So this is the affluent market, the premium market, the 1% of the 1%. And the statistics that says that the 1% of the 1% spend at least 10 to 15% of their income in real estate. So somebody is worth some billions of dollars, and he earns that money from his various earnings in the year. And since it reinvests about 10 to 15% of that into the market. And this particular market has a very high return. The return is extreme, very, very high return. Now then we have the upper middle class. This is still they are not yet in the premium, but they are coming there gradually. It's a growing middle class, or that has moved beyond the point of the middle class. There was a time they said we don't have middle class in Nigeria any longer, and that the stuff is closing. I really don't believe that like that. So it means that they are not very there at the premium, but they can afford a whole lot. Then the next one, I call it the large and medium corporates, deliberately. This is what we call the middle class. And the reason is because we have a large group of the working class, people that have worked for a few years. Maybe some of them they're now managers, and they are gaining some economy power. Some of them probably used to live in Apulegba. Now they can move close to Lekki Phase 1, and gradually they're coming up. They can put some funds together, buy some good properties. They can buy a 50, 60 million property, pay in 12 months conveniently and all. And that group is very large, and it keeps growing. Then we now come to the bottom, which is the biggest. There are a lot of people there. A lot of people there. And a lot of people play there. Now, I'll quickly say something before I move on to the next slide. The bottom market is quite interesting, because I can say this form a large percentage of players in the industry today. So I got a call 3 weeks ago that somebody came to break the fence from behind. To what to take. They broke the fence from behind. This is a project that I've left. So and I'm wondering, oh my God, I know how to involve police and all of that. So it comes with its own challenge, all right? And I wouldn't say don't play there. There's a lot of money here too. But if you're going to play in this space, my advice is this. The first thing you should watch out for is the security of the investment, which is the title. And if you are playing this space in Lagos, you discover that you are no longer even in the bottom, because to have a land that has title is no longer bottom in some instances. Okay, so right now, you can't pick your market without looking at how to segment your market. So there's this 4 dominant approach in market segmentation. At times, you may feel that it's just normal, but it's very important. You want to first look at the demographics. Okay. For me, what I get to do is that we create a product deliberately for people. So for every product we bring out, that this product is meant for this set of people. And we have an information from what they want, how they want it, what they want it to look like. Every market analysis, I say, try to segment your market for the purpose of knowing where to play and for the purpose of knowing how your product is going to meet their need. Demographic is very important. Then we now go to the geographics. Location. These people, where do they come from? Where do they live? Are you creating market for Nigerians in diaspora, for example? Where would they like to live in Nigeria? Which side and part of Nigeria would they like to live? It was so interesting that some years ago, one of the nurses attended to my wife when she was giving birth. And she's a Nigerian, based in the US. And she was telling me that she has a house in Nigeria and she lives in Amen Estates. And that their house is in Amen Estates. Telling me about how beautiful it is. And I'm wondering, why that far? And I knew someone then was going to buy a property of 140 million naira in Amen Estates. And she couldn't buy again because it was sold out then. And she was hungry. And I was like, you can come closer. You can get some better deal. As it requires the geographics, the location, the region, national, international, wherever they are. Then we go to the other ones. Let's look at the psychographics. What do these people do? What activities? This will also actually help in the place of marketing, targeting. Where can you find them? What are the activities? Are they people that play football? Do they play golf? Do they like to watch ball? Do they like to go to the club? When they go to the club, what type of club will they go to? What activities do they engage in? Or can you find them in redemption camp? What are their attitudes? What are their personalities and their values? This helps you as you try to focus your market. You now look at the behaviors. What are the pattern of their behaviors? You understand? Okay, what benefit do they require? How do they use this? In real estate, we talk about the first time the users itself and the secondary users. You can have a project and even top HNIs, you buy it, but they are buying it not for their own personal residence. They are buying it maybe to preserve wealth over a period of time or buying it to hand rent and income from. So you want to understand what the guys that will buy into this, what are they using it for? The usage is very, very important in analyzing the behavioral aspects. When we look at the age in Africa or Nigeria or the world in general, do you agree with that? That maybe women tend to live longer. So have you wondered why? Have you wondered why? Next slide. This is a guy who is just going to hit his head against the wall because he was distracted. The next one, I'm not sure if this is very clear. This guy is just going to climb over another guy relaxing on the grass because he was distracted. And the tractor is going to climb on him. Next one. And this guy is going to have his neck cut off just because he was trying to get a shave and he was distracted. Next one, please. And this guy just had an accident. You know, when I was like, this is probably not in Africa because there's a way the African guy likes to see what he wants to see. So if you are going to actually package a product specifically for men, you know how to push it out already because there's something that is attracting them. I'm just trying to use this to buttress my previous point. So let's go to the next slide. So right now I'm going to talk about a few things I need you to consider in choosing your market. The first thing I want to say is that I tell people, if I have a product going out and you meet someone and they're not buying into the product, I tell them, you're not Jesus Christ. You're not sent to everybody. Jesus was sent happy to die for everybody. You are not Jesus Christ. So you are sent to people specifically. And when you meet the people you are sent to, they will see what you have and they will recognize it. I tell people in my office, beyond even product development, when you're coming to me, I was having a meeting earlier today with the project manager, and we're having a discussion about what I say. You have to come with me with data. This is the information I have on this. This other information I have on this. I've analyzed this. I've done this. So if you don't have, you have to have a systematic way of collecting data and use data to make decisions. Decision making is very, very critical, and that's the soul of the business. You have a product already, and you know how to just package that product specifically. So just imagine a situation where you need something specifically to do something for you at some point. Some people have different type of vehicles. Some, as developers, you want a car that you can take to sites. Maybe the accessory is not good. You just want to put it on your, four-wheel drive and be able to move through. So he knows that this is my site car. And you also have a car that, okay, the day I know I'm driving myself, the driver is not driving me, let me be able to stop up and down. They know that this is my own personal ride. So you got that in specifically for a purpose. So it's important to get this data as we make our decision. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Now, this struck me about sometime last year. I was in a discussion. I was actually in a training. And somebody pointed this out to us and said many times we focus a lot on our competition. It's good to have information on what the competition is doing because you just want to just live in the dark and don't know what's going on around you. But you need to know your customers. So I said spend more time knowing your customers more than knowing your competitors. Spend a lot of time knowing your customers. If people have ever bought from you or people that you want to sell to, your major job is to know who your customers are. You can increase your revenue, you can increase your market share, you can increase your sales a lot if you do well with your customers. I tell people the potential of a single customer. One of my first background training is also sales. And I've sold a lot of properties even before I started as extreme sales. I was telling somebody that I don't think we have salespeople again. I said, do you know what it means to sell? You know, I'll create this image in the mind of the client that they're already seeing it. They're already seeing themselves living in this house. In fact, they get to a point that they're more excited about it than me. And they are willing to give me the money. I said, you don't beg anybody. Because, so when those days I was leading a sales team of ladies and they said, I'm selling property to this man and he's asking me out. And I used to have a colleague then. When he said to one man, the man said, you have to be my girl. The lady said, there's no problem. I need to just buy all the units in this estate in my name. I'll move to your house right now. The man just said, you're a bad girl. He said, just buy it in my name. Because the truth is that you are buying the property, there's value. So I'm helping you. In fact, you should be paying me extra to help you make that decision. You should be paying me extra to help you make that decision. So that's the important thing. So coming back so I won't get distracted, you have to spend a lot of time knowing your customers. The ones that have sold to you and the one that will buy from you. I mean, that you have sold to and the one that will buy from you again. So I was trying to say that the lifespan of an average customer is times 200. So if somebody has spent 100 million naira on a product you have sold, times it times 200. That's the value of what you can get from that person through his lifetime as span as your customer. So if you times that and 2, and after you got in, I can say you can die as a customer. So what that means is that it's direct and indirect. And I remember those days when I first sold real estate. My first major stuff I sold then was a land I sold for 6.5 million naira. And I sold this land to a friend of mine. We were friends when we were in school. Those days, so he got out before me, he got a good job. And I sold it to him. He bought it for 6.5 million naira. And it was a big one, outrightly. And this guy immediately gave me his friend who bought again from me. And I went to visit him in his company. He gave me about 7 other people that bought from me. And I think in that year alone, I made a sale of over 200 million naira through him. And this guy today has bought everything I've ever sold, including the one I'm doing right now. It was not just because he was my friend. So if I have every of my customer directly, and I can also link him to a lot of people that are buying from me right now. Even some of us, his friends that bought from me then, their colleagues have bought from me again, and they're buying from me even right now as a developer. So if you focus so much on this customer, and I'll tell you a little bit about this, my friend, my former colleague, then in my former place of work. This lady was always coming up as the top salesperson in the organization. In those days, we always do the first 10, and there's a reward system. We travel all around the world. And in those days, where she made like 600 million naira in sales value, I'm talking about, how many years ago? Maybe about 12 or 13 years ago, 14 years ago. 600 million naira in sales value. And we are celebrating our number 1. Guess what number 2 always bring? 300 million naira. That gap is so much. How does she do it? I'll tell you that I speak better English than her. You understand? This lady, we go somewhere very friendly. In fact, there was a day she went to give receipt to one of our customers in Lagos that sells markets and that sells clothes, all these women. And she got there and saw that one man came to buy Ashwebi for a wedding. She bought the Ashwebi. She went for the wedding. She eventually sold to that woman. This lady, during Leia, she will buy cow. She bought a cow for one of our top customers, who is a Muslim, and wrote it from the company on the body. Took the cow there. She moves, she goes out, comes up with check every day. She enters her customer service and said, I will not leave here today until you give me money. Or you give me your friends. Just connect me together. She was able to understand her customers, work with them. So as a company, as a developer, you need to spend time knowing your customers, what they want, how they want it, get them satisfied. Knowing the customers that you have and knowing the customers that you want to get. Because you don't create a product for yourself. Don't create a product that you like. Oh, this is the way I like. Create a product that they like. How do they like it? How do they want it? How do they want it to be placed? It's very, very important. The next one, please. So, we have run through many of these. If you pick your market very well, your business can be scalable. You can move very fast. Sustainability can be there. One of the things that is killing businesses today in Nigeria is it's not sustainable. There is no system. And I want to encourage us, whatever you do, build structure. Whether it's a 2-man company or a 3-man company, build structure. Number 2, build accountability. Build accountability. Build your business first before you build your house. The fact that you're a developer does not mean that you should live in your own house. And the unit that you should have sold to 2 other businesses, you do big boy. And when you put accountability, I also encourage you, have board. When I inaugurated my board of directors, and my lawyer was asking me that, are you sure you are ready to have a board right now? Are you sure you're ready to have what it comes? I said, yes, I'm sure. I'm ready. You know, last year, the board slashed my salary as the MD. You can't earn this amount yet. They slashed it. Slashed some allowances. I own the company, majority shareholdings. Slashed some allowances. Put me on performance pay for allowance. Limit how much I can have access to for holidays. Why are they doing that? They're looking at sustainability. And you know, in the world of business, why business fail is this. because you have your costs for everything, you have your overhead costs, operational costs. At the end of the day, you have your margin when you separate what your cost is from what you sell. So at the cost point, you can either take your cost off, take your profit off upfront, meaning that you load extra costs, this allowance to the MD, this so, and you take everything up front. At the end of the day, the margin is small, and there's no money to reinvest back to the business. But when you operate lean at that point, you have more margin, you plug back to the business, and it grows. But you can't achieve this if there's no system of accountability. In the world of business, the board of directors, the MD reports to the board, is accountable. At every board meeting, it's like you're going to sit in front of a panel, and they ask you, how come you're spending so much money here? Why do you come from? There's an approval of asset that you can buy. When you cross a particular amount, the board has to sign off. Many people are not willing to be accountable. Yes, they can make so much money, but the sustainability of that business is questionable. You may not be able to find them in the next 10 years. In the next 20 years is far. So it's very important to see all of this. Let's go to the next slide. I think I have just one or two more. Okay, this is the final one. So at this point, I'd like to take questions.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I'm not a developer like I said, but I work as a project and business consultant within the real estate space. And considering my background, I was working as a realtor at a point. We had several bottlenecks within the system. So I stepped out with a colleague who is now a partner to build an application to handle the systems. I mean, almost every speaker has spoken about systems, structures, and all of that. But we've had a challenge with getting developers to use the solution, even if the few companies who currently use it have enjoyed it. And we noticed that most developers only say, will it help me bring money right now? Can it help me get sales? And I keep thinking to myself, at what point does a developer actually need to start curating data or arranging it or building a system or automating his system? Because most people don't see beyond more money or sales.
So when I started out Dradrock 4 years ago, I started a company that in the first 3-4 months, I had the so-called high overhead. Do you understand then? Because I was so conscious of building a system. Don't forget, I just finished business school. So I didn't want to just run any. I wanted to build a company that is going to become a multinational. So my approach was different from day one. And one of the first person I hired then was someone who was the former HR manager of my former company. And I had her and I was paying her a salary more than what she was earning, where she was coming from. That's the first year. At that time, I was not earning salary yet. And I was paying her that. And I've made a lot of strategic move on hiring top hires with heavy pay in the process of building structure. And it has paid off. Initially, it was expensive. And so, it's just like you're building a high rise. Maybe you're going 30 floors. You'll be going to the ground, people are not saying it. But work is going. When you start growing, so I've said, watch out for me in another few years. So there's some things that we have put into the ground from day one. You get, it was tough. Some people were like, what are you just... It was tough, but it was just positioning to take off and have a system that works. Today, I have a strong system that works. That my job right now is just called strategy. In fact, I was telling them, we're having a session yesterday about our 2022. And I told them that next year, I'm going to spend 40% of my time on projects, 20% of my time on leadership development, 30% on leadership development, then spend another 20% on, on coordination. We did another 10%. So at least I'm structuring. So there's a system that runs right now. So I'm not running an entrepreneur or a business that the business can't survive without me. But of course, I still need to give direction and go. My business can survive 6 months without me if I don't show up. And nothing will fall. It took a lot of time to make it, but of course, there's a road I have to play. So it's a function of who you are and what you want to do. So if you are building for something that is long, if your journey is far, you will eat well. and you really feed yourself because your journey is far. If you use a Land Cruiser that has a large tank that will take that 22,000 naira fuel, you can't compare to somebody that will take a Toyota of 11,000 naira. When he has finished, this one just started his journey. So it's a function of where you are going, that some type of system and structure, but structure can be very expensive. So what I encourage developers and people that want to do business is that you need to acquire the knowledge and you need to keep learning. Because what you knew yesterday is outdated. So you have to develop a system in place that you keep learning, then you keep building people to be able to take that role. Even when you employ people, oversight function is very, very important. So talking about your solution, Jeffrey, maybe you should look at the solution that will make developers get sales. Sales is important, so that can help. If they're not looking at a solution that supports processes development yet, get sales, and gradually when they have the money, they can come for this other one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There is something particular about every developer that is probably a top performer today. Mainly, one of the things that you find out, you think that on the outside, you think everyone is very hardworking. You are all very hardworking. I think that most of these developers that you see that are doing well, they are very lazy. This is the confession of a lazy developer. All the developers you see, they are very lazy. But the reason why you see them doing so much, why will I have time to be posting on Instagram? Why will I have time to be doing some of the things I'm doing? You see, he has time. You are not getting the same turnover, but you don't even have time. The problem is not about maybe you are less hardworking. You are even more hardworking. It is what I call system. So every aspect of your business can be structured from the point of sales. Okay, now, how many persons do you call every day for appointments? Because it's the number of appointments that will lead to what? Number of inspection. Number of inspection will lead to what? Number of sales. We have groups selling for us. But one of the things that we will never do is that we will be over-reliant on any group. You heard what Mr. Wale said. It's better if it gets to a point where the client wants to ask for money back. You can. I do it a lot. Do you want your money back? The first thing I do is, do you want a refund? I will give you back your money. You know why? Because there's certain level. Because I know somebody else. Because I'm very good at selling. But one thing that we must understand, that everybody who is playing big right now, there is something that you realize that every one of them are doing. If you understand, Wale Ayilara, my brother here, Crown, Nola, they are scaling to one particular posh place. They are scaling Pius Agida. There is something that they have not said it, and me too. We have not said it. There's a place where people are scaling to us. And that scaling point is the point of maximum domination. That is not just, and that's why as a developer, you are not selfish. Because you are charitable. Because in your charity, the abundance will come. Hello? In your charity world, abundance will come. Number two, maybe the other part that some of the speakers will not say, I'm just trying to do a bit of summary. For property developer, this is me and you now. Engage, I should reduce my voice, right? See, engage more women in your company. I don't know how it works, but engage more women in your company. I have 80%, only me and Mr. James, director. Every other person, women. When they are talking, we just keep quiet. When they are talking, we keep quiet. Because they see certain things that we may not see. So I don't know whether it is in the law book. We are too, especially those of you that are men developer. You see, that one says it does not think. It does not think too much. It does not overthink. It takes action. So for us to move forward, we need to be able to position ourselves effectively. Thank you guys very much for coming. I celebrate you all. The content of this, the content of this, the materials will be distributed to us. Mr. Badewole, I celebrate you. He's my friend. Like he said, we monitor each other. He looks at me, I look at him. I look at him. We check back, we go back again. And I do that for most people. I do it for Olisa, who is here. I do it a whole lot. I look at whatever you are doing. I do that to Ayo, Akidipe. I do it a whole lot. So maybe it's my nature. I'm always looking. I'm always looking at. If you are doing something, if I'm not looking, then that means you're not doing it well. So I always look at, I'm always trying to, okay, I'll point, I would like it, I will do this one and another. Because I like what you heard what Mr. Wale said. He said something. He said, if you are new in the market, you will do what? You will know. Me too, I will know.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. This was been a fascinating conversation.
I learned the principle to execute. I also learned how to raise funds. I also learned from Coach Chudi cash flow. He really hammered on the cash flow. You know, he hammered, and what I learned from what he said, that you don't just sell to a client and the client should go. The client has to be frequent. You know, it means that, sister, don't let us kill the...
Open up the ground with a lot of talk and the rest, which I know quite all right that he's best in doing that, okay? And now, aside from me, I'm not a developer, I'm just a realtor, all right? But there's so many things I learned today that tomorrow, if I decide to become a developer, it's going to be another boom. You understand? So from the first speaker to the last speaker, it has been killing.
It's been a blast.
Great.
In today's experience, the conference was actually mind-blowing. I have to actually thank Coach Chudi for this great experience. I learned a lot, like talking about, I'm a realtor actually, so talking about market, where to find our clients, how to grow bigger in this business. We met a whole lot of speakers. They made us understand not just being a developer, but before you can be a developer or just being in the real estate business, you have to be prepared, you have to be determined. It's not, the business, as in the space is just so large. So I learned a lot. It was really exciting for me.